Hello there everyone, Shibby here. Hope everyone out there's doing well. Taking back once again with some more Pokemon trading card game Pocket ranked matches. It's been a little while since I've uploaded a video on Pokemon Pocket, but we're going to rectify that today by trying out the new Meowscarada EX card that came with the Paldean Wonders set. But I guess I shouldn't call it new because at this point Paldean Wonders has been out for a while, but it's new to me because I haven't tried it out yet. But if you're curious as to what the new gimmick, or what the new gimmick, what the special thing about this card is in particular and why I'm trying out today. It's basically for its attack called Flower Trick. For 1 energy, you can target a spot on your opponent's bench, and whatever Pokemon is in that spot receives 70 damage. So really the goal is to snipe the bench and kind of play mind games with your opponent, because anything that's sitting in that spot is what's going to be eating the damage. So whether they swap or not, or let what's ever sitting there take it, the goal is just to kind of, make an uncomfortable situation for them. And for this variation of a Meowscarada deck, I am just running Meowscarada as Sprigatito, so there's no other Pokemon in this deck. I looked up a few deck lists, and this is one I like the most. I made some tweaks to it, so I probably ruined it, but this is the version of it that I thought was the most interesting, so we're going to give it a shot in ranked and to see what we can what kind of damage we can do with it. But I'll have the entire deck list in the description of the video below, should you want to try this deck out or simply improve upon it. But yeah, I think that's enough of me rambling, and let's take Meowscarada into ranked and see what we can get done. I'll be back when I find my first match. Alrighty, looks like I found my first opponent here, and we are going first, which is unfortunate, but thankfully we don't really need a whole lot of energy to get going. Now we're going up against a fighting type deck, and they're opening up a Sudowoodo, so we evolve into an EX. Not the best thing in the world because they get a little bit of extra damage. But that's why we are running 2 different versions of Meowscarada, so we can, play around Oricorio. I figured it would be a bad idea to just run just the EX version alone should we get walled out. That's all we can do for the time being. I do wonder if they're running... I don't know, Sudowoodo kind of can fit in a lot of stuff. This could be Lucario and something. And it's Rampardos. I am not surprised. Alright, thankfully we got a lucky Ice Pop in hand, so we can undo that first hit. And we do have Florigatio. Or Florigato. I actually have no idea how to say pretty much this entire line's names. Because I can't read Pokemon names because I'm an idiot. Right, we do get evolved up though. We'll use our lucky Ice Pop to undo this. Hopefully we get ahead so we can keep it. And we do. Alright, we got it for a rainy day now. But we can't attack at the moment, so I'll just have to move on. Alright, hopefully we can draw into our Meowscarada before they can get into Rampardos, because that would just be bad for everybody. Especially bad for me. Alright, they got the Rocky helmet on, which is not good. And they've gotten evolved in the back row there. Alrighty, we eat 20 from Sudowoodo. And we do get our Meowscarada, which is nice. Alright, let's go ahead and evolve up. And we'll go ahead and use Lucky Ice Pop. So I don't know if we'll get lucky twice and be able to keep it, but we'll see. Alright, luck is not on my side for a second time. Alright, now, would it be good? This not actually, yeah. We'll make them make a choice here. If we can get rid of Rampardos, we really should. Alright, they'll eat 70 from this. And then we can Cyrus it in. And then we can KO it and make our lives a little bit easier. Alright, so they're probably going to make their swap now, which means Sudowoodo is going to get hit instead. Which is just fine, but... And now we're not in a particularly great position. Alright. Could forcibly bring in Sudowoodo, but I don't know if there's any point to that. So I guess we're just gonna have to attack into this Rampardos. And hope I draw either Copycat or Oak. Because we are going to need our other Meowscarada. Alright, well, they knocked themselves out. So that does help me here. And does give us a little more time since they were willing to sacrifice Rampardos to take out Meowscarada. Now, what did they bring in? Which Sudowoodo do you want to bring out here? I know it's a hard decision, but I'm afraid you must make it. Alright, come on. You're not going to time out on the switch, are you? They might. Alright, they're going to bring out the healthy Sudowoodo. Alright, we got a rare candy, but we now need our other Meowscarada. Okay, well, I guess we're going to Cyrus in this other Sudowoodo and just take it out. Because that Sudowoodo can't KO me since we're running a non-EX at the moment. But I'm not running a second Sprigatito, so we do have to have rare candy and Meowscarada. Alright. Show me something good. Doesn't matter if it's the EX or non-EX version. Well, actually, EX version would be better. But I'll take what I can get at this moment. Alright, they are also running Lucario. Alright, if I don't get something useful this turn, we are unfortunately done. And I didn't get anything useful this turn, so we are unfortunately done. Alright, I somehow managed to go this whole time. Didn't draw Copycat, Oak, nothing. Alright, well, that's gonna be all she wrote. Alrighty, down goes our Sprigatito and our hopes and dreams along with it as we drop the first match to Rampardos. Unfortunately, we did not have real good luck of the draw there, but I also probably could have played that better. But, you know, what happened, happened. But alrighty, well, good game to that opponent. Now back on a find my next match. Alrighty, looks like I found my next opponent here, and we are unfortunately going first again. But let's see what we can get done here. We do start with Pokeball and Professor Oak this time, so we do have a little bit more draw power than we had before. Even though we had Pokeball last time, just nothing else really to go along with it. And we're going up against, God, what is that card called? Bulb something? I cannot remember what the evolution of Head Bulb is. Is it Bell Bulb or something like that? I'm probably making that up. All right. Alright, we'll use Oak, because they only have 2 cards. So that would be just the wiser thing to do. Alright, we got 2 Meowscardas, but we don't have any rare candies or Florgatios, so we can't really make any use of it. Alright, let's see what we can get into here. We need to really get going before they get 4 energy in play. Excuse me, because then it's going to be bad news for everybody. And they're already going to have it because of the 2 Zeraoras. Which is problematic, so I don't know if it would be better to put a Leaf Cape on the one on the bench. Or the... We'll just put it on the active one. We can't play ourselves out of it before something bad actually happens first. Alright, we'll hold on to our Copycat. I always want to call that card gold. I think that's a gold on the art. I might accidentally call it gold a couple times, so know that I'm referring to Copycat if I am that stupid. right. They managed to not get more electric energy into play. Please don't freaking have... Okay, they don't, so they switched. Alright, you wouldn't give me a rare candy, would you? Alright, still might get it, but we can't. We can no longer Cyrus in the Tadbulb. Oh boy. Alright, well, I shouldn't have put energy into this Sprigatito. I guess we'll retreat to not die. And hopefully we get a rare candy next turn. We've almost got our deck built out, just not having any luck on these draws. And that's Belly Bolt, that's what it is. Well, if I could have got a rare candy last turn, we wouldn't be in the shape we are in, unfortunately. But down goes our healthy Sprigatito. And we might be done for, even if we get what we need. And I still didn't. Alright, well, we're doubly fucked. Alrighty then. Well, let's heal for healing's sake, I guess. Alright, play another lucky ice pop. Alright, I guess what I'm going to have to do here is go for Baroque on Copycat and hope that gives me Meowscarada and a rare candy back, because we will not survive next turn if we don't get both. But it's the only choice that I have here. And I didn't get it, so that's GG's. Alright, well, not a good start. I'm just not having the best luck drawing anything. And down we go. Alrighty, we're quickly in an 0-2 hole with this Meowscarada deck. We'll have to try to see if we can get out of it in the next one. But good game to that opponent. Know back when I find my next match. Alrighty, looks like I found my next opponent here. We're going first again. God, 3 times in a row. That's never good. Alright. Well, we do start with Oak, but only one Sprigatito. We're going up against a fighting deck, and them having Chingling is not the greatest thing in the world, so we need to... we're not going to be able to evolve into Meowscarada with a rare candy, because we're not going to be able to play items out of our hand. But we do get our whole line, so we can actually do it the slow way, which is what we're going to have to do. Alright, you wouldn't have bricked, would you, just to make this just a smidge easier? Alright. We play Arvin. They can get a tool, or are they going to get, oh, they got a tool. I forgot what heads does. I was just blankly staring at the screen and not comprehending information. Alright, we cannot play any item cards from the hand, which includes our Pokeball. So we're going to have to just evolve the slow way. And we cannot heal either. We can play Copycat, but we don't want to lose our Meowscarada. We're going to desperately need that here in a moment. Alright, they're going to play May. Get 2 more cards. Or 2 basics. Just remember, you got to put one back off May, right? Can't remember. I don't really run May a lot, so I forget what a lot of these cards do because I can't retain information. Why did he put an energy on Jingling for? Alright. We can't play Pokeball, but can evolve nonetheless, by God. Alright, let's get this thing out of here. And now I have to bring in the fossil. The plume fossil. I don't remember what evolves from the plume fossil. There's a lot of stuff in the newer games that I just forget. And they conceded. They must have bricked pretty badly. But I'll take it. A win's a win. And wins have been slim pickings so far. But good game to that opponent. We just had a little bit better luck than they did. And hopefully we can maybe string out another win here. But yeah, again, good game to that opponent. Back when I find my next match. Alrighty, it looks like we found our next opponent here. We're going first again for the 4th time in a freaking row. My God, my luck. But we do have a way better hand than we've had before. We actually have Meowscarada and a rare candy in hand. So hopefully to God they don't have Eno or Ino and or a red card. Just don't take this away from me. Alright, we're going up against Mega Absol, so we are going to need speed. And because they get to go first, we are going to be a turn behind, unfortunately. Alright. Alright, we get our second one, so we got 2 to pick from. And I guess we'll get rid of that Nile Ego on our first turn. So we don't want to be dealing with Poison and Mega Absol. Alright. Let's see what we can get done here. Alright, let's play our rare candy. Evolve into our fancy Meowscarada. And put an energy into it. We evolve into our Sprigatito as well. And I don't know if I should play Copycat. No, we'll hold on to it since we do have our other Meowscarada in hand. Alright, we'll get rid of that thing for a guaranteed point. I guess we'll just kind of pick away at his bench. Alright, I think Dark Pendant, does that make me discard a card, right? If I attack into it, or I guess if he attacks me. But we do lose our Copycat, so I probably should have just played it. But you live and you learn. Alright, we'll play a Pokeball and just shuffle our hand around. Alright. I'm going to put an energy into this Meowscarada. And we're going to do Flower Trick on the Absol. So either way, he's losing a Pokemon. If he or I should say, if he brings Zubat in, then he loses a Pokemon. It's also a win if he just retreats the Absol. In general, because then we don't have to deal with it, and whenever he brings in, we KO. All right, I don't agree with that move. I think he's still marked, so I think he still gets hit. Yeah. So he just loses now. He should have retreated. And because that's a Mega, we win. We lose our Copycat, that's fine. We didn't really need it anyhow. Alright, I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't really even sure how that effect was gonna work. I didn't know if it still went off after Meowscarada got KO'd or not, but now we know. Well, I guess they probably didn't know that either. Alright, trial and error, we both learned together. But alright, we did manage to actually win 2 in a row here. Even if one was a pity one, but I'll take it anyway. But since we're tied 2-2, I'll go find one more match and see if we can end off with the ending record with this deck. Good game to that opponent. I'm back going to find one more match. Alrighty, looks like I found my final opponent here, and we finally have the good grace of going second. Only took 5 matches to do so. Alright, we do have a pretty good starting hand, but we do have the type disadvantage, but no bueno. All right, we need to get this Torchic out of here for Blaziken rears its ugly head. We definitely don't want that. Things will go off the rails if Blaziken gets out here. We just kind of hope that they break and don't have any real luck drawing stuff. All right, they have their Entei. Now, do they want to swap? They do. All right, not ideal, but we can get our Meowscarada in here on the next turn and chip away at the bench, which is what we're absolutely going to do, just to do all the damage we can to Blaziken before it rears its ugly head here. And we'll just play Pokeball to shuffle our deck, because why not? I guess we will attack an Entei, because we don't really have another choice. Alright, we need to try to speed things up here, but I don't know if we're going to be able to get going any faster. And he's already got Blaziken. Alright. Not ideal. Alright, well, let's play our rare candy. Evolve into our Meowscarada. And evolve this one. At this point, I might as well just put an energy into this one, honestly. And we're going to chip away at Mega Blaziken. Now, will he opt to let Entei eat the damage? Or will he swap here? Or excuse me, will he opt to let swap Entei with Blaziken in that spot and let them eat the damage over Blaziken? I know they're just going to attack me head on. And Blaziken will get popped for 70 here. Alright, we have our non-EX Meowscarada here, so I think this is what we're going to do. I'm going to put an energy into this one. I'm not going to evolve yet. I'm going to use Flower Trick, and we're going to get Blaziken down into KO range. I am willing to concede Meowscarada here. Because Blaziken KOing it just gives us the win. And because we have Cyrus, we can assure it comes in. Alright, we lose our Meowscarada. That is fine. We'll bring in our Florgatillo. Or Florgato. I will say that 50 different ways and be wrong every time. Alright, and now we just take the win here. Alright, we don't want to trade here. We evolve into this one. Put energy into Meowscarada. Bring me Mega Blaziken, please. And we will go ahead and do 130. And steal 3 points in the game along with it. And we managed to pull out a win that we probably didn't deserve there, but you know what? I'll gladly take it. But alright, after very quickly dropping the first two horrendously, we do manage to actually get up to a 3-2 record with Meowscarada and win 3 in a row. So yeah, I don't know what that says about this deck. Maybe it just means my luck was bringing the overall power of the card down, we'll say. But yeah, I think it's a fun deck. I'm sure there's better ways to play it. I just opted to run Meowscarada only. I'm sure you could probably run this with, Teal Mask, Ogerpon, and have it still be pretty decent, or any other grass types that you like. But yeah, feel free to leave me any deck recommendations you may want to see with Meowscarada, and I'll give it a try if I got the cards or just any deck in general, and I'll try it out if I can. But yeah, as always, I do believe I'm going to end the video here. If you made this far, I do thank you for watching. Like, subscribe if you feel like it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.